are watching and listening to the Satellite Trampoline 3 podcast with your hosts, Rich Clinton, Thom Tessandori, and Andy Makin. Join us as we discuss anything but politics.
Save me. I don't think I can save myself. Help me.
So back in the day, in order for us to be able to share music with each other after practices and everything, we decided to get MiniDisc players because you could record quickly onto it.
They were brilliant.
Yeah. So I'm looking through a box of stuff. We're just kind of douching out our practice space a bit, getting rid of some stuff, and I find a box, and it was a box of Doug stuff, and Doug is right there, and there's a little MiniDisc player in there. A little tiny and had a disc in it.
Oh, wow. Love it.
So
we're talking about this as if it was an 8-track. That's how fucking old we are now.
Yeah, I mean, to me, still, that was a pretty brilliant format that just never made it. That's Sony for you. They don't like to license things till they're dead.
I mean, everything sounded good all the time.
Yeah.
There was just no degradation of any sort of quality.
Plus, just the format itself, it was like these little indestructible cassettes. It was brilliant.
So we put a battery in it, and I turned it on, and it worked, of course. And it was the tubes. It was funny. It was like She's a Beauty came on.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's like some kind of post-apocalyptic film, isn't it?
It gets better. So. This is happening, and Rich has headphones on, and he's in the main, part of the studio, and I'm kind of on the computer, doing some stuff and arranging, and Brian's in the front kind of area where there's a garage type area, right? Talking, because he talks a lot. Brian talks a lot, and it was like a commercial for auto insurance or some. Over here, unfortunately, we have a lot of commercials for drug, like prescriptions and things like that.
Yeah, it's over here as well now.
I'm sorry. And Rich started singing, and Doug started singing, and Brian started singing, and it was literally like a toothpaste commercial, she's a beauty. And
Nice.
it's like everybody's doing different parts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And of course, mind you, the only person that can hear this is Rich. with the music in his ears.
Nice.
It was actually Talk to You Later.
Nice.
But it was the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
It was Talk to You Later. But it's funny. It's like everybody knows the song, and it's just those little collective moments. Again, across the board, I think that's the other part of this whole music thing, and I think that tribalism and is the fact that it's a collective memory type thing. It's a collective experience. And, I was thinking about it when I went downstairs that I'm just happy to see young people picking up instruments and creating music. What comes out the other end is almost irrelevant to me. The fact that they're actually, trying to do something and taking the patience to do something and create something. And God, it's so easy now. To get something on YouTube or
I would say to that point, I've seen some amazing artists on YouTube doing stuff with MIDI and just weird shit that I wouldn't even think of as musical instruments, making beats and stuff out of bizarro shit, and that is amazing. But there's a gazillion people who are shit at that, who put stuff up on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
I think there's still, the bottom line is, it's the brush, right? That's all this is. The guitar is the brush. The MIDI keyboard is the brush. Everything is just an instrument of creativity, but it relies on the human imagination to begin that. And then the tool is just facilitating whatever medium you choose, right? So I think to your point, I think there's so much more that you can do now, which isn't seen as irreverent. For instance, remember the anti-keyboard stuff, you'd have on albums, you'd be like, we didn't touch a fucking keyboard at all. You might slow the tape down if you're singing though, because he's a bit shit.
No
but we never used a fucking keyboard, mate. So there you go. right? Oh, okay. But you used them on the next record. Well, yeah, they're really good, actually. You know,
Yeah.
it's become okay to use whatever to achieve a creative goal, and
Right.
that harks back to that eclecticism, that thing where we're allowed to not. We don't have to wear football scarves tied tightly around our necks anymore to tell everybody who we are.
Right.
We listen to everything, and therefore I think that creation comes from well, what did you do it on? Well, I did it on like my phone, just on a keyboard on my phone. It made this noise, and I sang over the top of it. Okay, because it is literally, isn't it? It is just a tool that we use, and the choice that we make of paintbrush is just an old paintbrush, whereas these days can use anything, and it's
of the younger bands that I go out and see when I go with my Portland band to shows. There is an anti-gear movement. Almost like, who cares what you use? Doesn't matter if it's your phone or whatever. And I'm this asshole over here, like, oh, listen to my microphone and it sounds so good, and all this other, and this sort of thing. But to your point about YouTube, right? That is true. You can go on YouTube and learn, the Doug Marks, butt rock method or whatever. But it still takes.
I don't think that's the universal mind for butt rock method, though. No.
Well, you can't see the fact I'm not wearing pants right now, but it's pretty warm in here.
I'm always assuming that.
Why wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. But to that point it still takes something to create. You still have to put in the work and the effort. I mean, I remember when I heard my kid learning guitar and I was like, oh my God, my poor neighbors, but what am I going to do? Tell her to shut up? Of course not, dude. I'm like, turn it up louder, like learn how to use that feedback kind of thing and just
feel it. Yeah. I think really that's what it is, right? It's a visceral thing. If you learn you're learning, you're feeling it, then you hit those little marks. It's like, oh, I'm a little bit better if I push through, because as we know, we all play instruments. If you push yourself through and you can hit a wall and you're going, I don't want to do this anymore. And then you just go back, you pick it up, and all of a sudden, and it's those little climbs and the bigger climbs and the bigger climbs that we still do, and you still get that. It's like, oh yeah, look what I did. And now it's more on the creative end than anything else. It's like, oh my God, it's like, without thinking, what I try to do is without thinking, seeing what comes out. And that's what's the beautiful thing, because it's all mystery, how it happens. And I really am very cognizant of not putting anything into it. If I sit down and I go, I'm going to write a song. Can I write a song? Yeah. But to me, that's not the best stuff. The best stuff is just, I know I'm completely off topic, but yeah.
No, but that's why Rich and I work so well together. Is I'm a systems guy. I'm like this is the system. This is what it is. Like, I have designed our studio so we walk inside, turn it on, press a button, we're good to go. Every single one of Doug's drums is mic'd, with the exception of the rototoms, because we've ran out of space. But you should see his drum set. Anyway,
I know. Hey, look, I've got one of those.
It's because
a nightmare. You've got to prune them.
Right.
And when that strikes, that system is what works for Rich.
That system,
yeah,
exactly. You've designed a system that gets the fuck out of the way as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
right. And it goes back to exactly what you were saying, Andy, where they're just tools. They're just things that they do it, because the barrier to entry, yes, it's much, much smaller now, but it's also a niche within a niche within a niche, right? Like you can buy pre-done Tonex things. I mean, I'm the guy that sits there and tries to figure out, the perfect bass tone or whatever, which it always changes on the fly too. Because the moment I put it through my in-ears, it's like, this sounds different than it did at the office, but that kind of thing.
That's my, as my little bitch toward digital stuff, which we use, and I'm in front of house stuff that I use also, is like, you never really know what it sounds like. No. What does it really sound like? It sounds different through the in-ears, sounds different through a monitor, sounds different, when you record it. And I use the recording as like the kind of the basic line. If you don't put anything on it, if you're just shoving it right into an interface and you're seeing that's kind of what it sounds like. And I'm almost always pleasantly pleased on the other end of it. I'm like, yeah, that sounds pretty good. Wish it sounded like that in my ears. So I wouldn't be going.
Absolutely, that all the time. That what Rich just said. All of that, all of the time.
Yeah,
times 50.
It's just fucking ridiculous. It's like, God, is that my guitar? It sounds great. Wow. it didn't sound like that in my ears. It sounded like my first fucking solid state practice amp through a cement mixer, just really loud because I have to turn it up because I can't feel anything.
Right.
It's bollocks. And then do the singing thing on top of that with a guitar. So you're trying to get a nice tone on a guitar, and then a vocal that no, it's like that gig on Sunday. I used the dreaded Kemper. So Kemper had front of house feed, and then I also ran, funny enough, one of those little thingies to a 412. That was the backline that was there, so at least I could have some air.
Right.
Anyway, needless to say, front house was dreadful. It was a 3-piece. Can I have some vocals in some monitors, please? Because I didn't want to go in ears.
Right.
Just for like a half-hour set was the point. And no problem. Nothing. Just fucking all. And so I just whacked that guitar up, and the cab was firing, and it was great. I could hear that. And then through playing through since the last Ice Age without hearing my own vocals, that's as old school as you get. I just did it through muscle memory, and it was fine. Yeah. But like to your point, hearing stuff back and going, even in a recording environment where I've got headphones on, it's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. I can live with it. And then you hear it back, you think, oh, that's quite nice. That I want that now. I don't want it later. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's fucking ridiculous. It's literally like, right, here's this really beautiful, expensive, hand-whittled brush, right? With coarse hair from an Andalusian fucking farmer's wife's back, right? It's crafted in human bone, right? Thank you very much for this. Yeah, lovely. And now, to paint, here are the boxing gloves. Fuck, okay. Right? And that's what it does. It just stymies any type of love you have for the fucking thing you love.
Right.
And then later on it's the little reward, the little sweetie at the end of it is, sounded all right, don't worry. Oh, great. Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of jumping through and understanding at the other end of it. It's probably okay, but you have to. But there's a. Can we have that on a T-shirt? It's probably okay.
It's probably okay. Yeah.
There's a punk rock band name.
Yeah, right. My favorite one. There was a punk covers band called Chineapple Punks, which I thought was just beautiful name, and they did punk covers. Chineapple Punks.
And then I'll get Doug, or I'll get somebody else we know, and they'll ride up in their wagon and they'll go, oh, but what you need is the quadruple drivers. That makes everything sound better. Coming from a drummer, it's like, I think this is a bit dubious, it's because
well, he does hit things for a living, so
it's like tone,
you need quad drivers. Yeah, and they have to be this and this and this. Do they fuck? What an absolute bollocks. I mean, all you're really paying for is a better fucking seal. It's like there's the guy was in a band with, he was a tech for Maiden, and they got him very expensive in ears. They were like a couple of grand's worth. It was ridiculous. Yeah. He had his own miniature little penny case just to keep them dry and safe and warm and not bothered by nasty things. And they had I think they had 3 drivers. They didn't have like a gazillion drivers in them. They just had good drivers, and the seal was excellent. I mean, that more than anything else. It's getting caught up in that nonsense again. Well, what you need is this, and you need that, and you need a tube screamer, and you need that over there, and you need this, because otherwise none of it works. And then we go back to, when dinosaurs roamed the earth, and those original bands who were just playing what had formed from rock and roll into make loud, make more loud, make even louder. Oh, right. That's really loud. And now let's stick with that for a while. And, yeah. This removal of we're playing music now, and we've removed the visceral part of it for the people who need to make people feel the visceral part of it.
Yeah.
In other words, you're playing your guitar and you need to feel that feedback and that connectivity between your instrument. Mm-hmm. And the only people who are actually doing that is the crowd. But you don't know that because you can't hear that.
No, and we learned how to deal with that. We learned to use volume as a tool, right? Yeah. So I can't turn to my amplifier and get a sustain or get a little feedback and control that. Which you learn how to control feedback because of that, and use things in your favor, or using the whole volume as a tool itself. You don't get that anymore, and that's what I really miss.
It's using the limitations of the instrument as an instrument in itself.
Right.
So using feedback as a musical thing, or using it as a thing to, bludgeon people over the head with. Yeah.
I mean, is it more convenient?
And also the whole silent stage thing. The silent stage thing, bollocks. Okay, here's the thing then. Get your drummer to play electric kit. Otherwise, go fuck yourselves. What do you mean silent stage? He's still twatting away on those cymbals, which are destroying everyone's fucking hearing, right? He's a fucking caveman. What the hell?
I always feel a little sad. Anybody who comes to our practices, and unless we give them in-ears, they're hearing Brian singing with drums.
Yeah.
They're barely hearing Brian
two
singing,
slightly middle-aged, out-of-breath men.
And chinky chinky. And what's even better is his china sits right next to the door. So when he hits the garbage can, it's like it just pierces right down your spine. You're just like,
Yeah, and zero context. It's literally like someone trying out some symbols in a shop,
Yeah, because we're all over there like, silently looking like a silent film, over there.
Totally into
it. But to that end, I will say this, and then I have a question for you, Andy. But I will say this. There is nothing in the world that has come along that quite experiences being synced up to our movies. And when we're playing live and we hear Brian says a word and it pops up like 10 feet on the screen, you're like, holy shit. That is amazing, dude. And we've rarely been able to take the full thing out because we were a little bit ahead where we were using a projector, which is totally worthless now. It's all just, LCD screens or whatever.
Yeah.
But on a totally different note, I was curious, Andy, do you guys record your rehearsals?
Yeah.
You do? How often do you guys get together?
Oh, as and when. It's like if we got something coming up, done as much as possible, but it's mainly homework time, and then we rely on a gig to tighten us. So
sure.
Rehearsals are recorded simply for hopefully your homeworks and your homework. You've been doing your homework, and your last rehearsal is better than the rehearsal before that. So that's the one you rehearse to for the next rehearsal, and you just tweak. But yeah, something might come up. I might noodle something. The drummer might do something. There just might be something beautiful and musical that you just go, oh, nick that. Don't lose that.
Right.
Yeah, we've always got something going.
Yeah, we try to record everything, just because you never know what's going to come out.
Yeah.
Lately, we've been in a bit of a. We've been kind of stumped in our. Well, last week we actually got together, actually played, and I started doing what I do, fiddling around, and came up with a riff, which seemed like it might go someplace. But then this week we didn't do it. We didn't play at all, and that's. I know it frustrates Doug when we do this, but it's still important because we're still getting together and still making sure that everything is tight and we're on the same page. But it's tough. It's tough getting traction. I think that's the biggest thing that I found now with playing is just there's so many life things going on all the time. It's just like really tough to get any traction. It's like the minute you get up the hill a bit, you start sliding back down a bit, and I think we all our age and everything else. You just start feeling it's like the pressing of get it the fuck done, because look how much we could do when we were young, and it wasn't just because we were young. It has more to do with time than anything else.
To do with time.
Yeah. If we had every single person that was involved with it had all the time in the world to put toward it, then things would get done quicker.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the lottery win. That's my lottery win. I think Mono Valley. I don't know if you know Mono Valley. It's the neighbour to Rockfield Studios in Wales. So Mono Valley's done Oasis and stuff like that, right? And it's been. I'm not sure if it's still for sale now, but it has been for sale. So that was my little lottery dream, which was I'll buy Mono Valley, and then I'll have you lot come over and we'll do residency, and you plan your lives around that, how you need it to be, and it'll all be paid for. and we'll have you over and we'll do that. And then I'll come over to you and we'll do some gigs and touring. And because money's not the thing anymore.
Right.
So what we're looking at now is time. So how much time can we spend together when money isn't the issue?
Right.
Certainly a lot more, right?
Yeah.
More like where we were back in our 20s and our
Right.
early 30s, right? And that's the thing. And, you know, then I'd get my band over and we do this and that, the other. And, you know, you're absolutely right. It is time. Like with My Last Fire, we rehearse, we get together when we can. And then that's, you know, dealer's choice. What do you want to do? Do you want to rehearse stuff? Do you want to just noodle? Just
Right.
being in a room together. It's so important.
That is very important. Yeah.
And I mean, we haven't got a gig in the books now till the 28th of September. So what, apart from maybe tweaking a set, we're not going to do much. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff will be doing the videos for the studio stuff we did last week, getting those bits and pieces mixed and edited, some socials crap. But that's it. We're not going to be in a room together as much, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas pre-gig, you're in a room together at least a couple of times for my band anyway. And it's like, oh, we're a band, you know? And so to your point, if you're not doing that regularly, then you're not a band.
Right.
You know? And it's so important to have that familial content too.
Sure. The camaraderie, you know, the brotherhood. It's important for us. We get together no matter what. We try to all get together, even with the understanding that we may not pick up an instrument.
Yeah.
We may just talk. We may just, you know, reminisce. We may just bullshit. We may just joke around and stuff. It's like that. It's important because you got to like the people that you're with, especially at our level, right? I mean, seriously, it's like if you can deal with some people if you're like, this is all you do. And, you know, yeah, maybe the bass player is a bit of a dick. You know, he's there, he's in lunch or whatever. So you can deal with that. Right, Tom?
That's right.
No, you're right. You're right. It's maintaining the lines of communication outside of just a phone.
Yeah.
Or, you know, a WhatsApp group or whatever. It has to be more than that. I mean, it's our initial reasons for the podcast was, it wasn't necessarily about having a podcast. Believe me, it's not. It's about being in the virtual room with my family, and
sure.
Without that, yes, we'd still be actively connected, but not at a tissue level. Not at a. I spoke to them today. I saw them. It felt like I could reach out and touch them. I felt inclusive in that group. You know, and yeah, absolutely, it's so important.
I know it's it's not completely off what we're talking about at this moment. It's probably completely off topic from what we've been, the whole program. But we have somebody needs to make a scale of communication now, right? Because when we were younger, there was basically 3 modes of communication. There was in person, on a telephone, a letter.
Yeah,
that's
it. next door. Not so far away, and then incredibly far away. That was it.
Exactly.
You just raise your voice. That's about it. Yeah.
So we've been thrown into this really weird. Probably the strongest part of communication now is text messaging. It didn't exist before. Well, I guess a telegram would have existed, but you know, it's that same kind of thing. How do you convey emotion? How do you convey a lot of information? And everything else through this just very limited part of communication, that's what they use for the most part all the time. Yeah. People don't want to talk on the phone any longer.
Spike Milligan had a great story of Peter Sellers sending him a telegram, which went through his letterbox. He opened it up and it said, "Ignore first telegram." That's what it said.
That's good.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. We are at that era where you can be in touch at all times, but who fucking wants to? You know, we didn't. It's like when the importance of being in a room together, or at least as close as we can be. It's so much more. There's no room for us to fuck up a phrase that you might take incorrectly.
Right.
There's a lot of that where it's, well, you know, I'll read some stuff from people who'll be like, are you being an arsehole? I can't tell.
Right.
Or are you being ironic? Are you
Or
being
dismissive.
ironic?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or are you being dismissive? Or, you
Yeah.
know, and it's none of those things. It's literally our interpretation, which is, you know, get into our Urquhart Tolle nonsense, where it's us projecting how we feel onto a ghost of a bit of a script with your name on it. Or,
it's the
you know, my
meaning that
mum's
we,
name on it.
yeah, the meaning we make on it. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Whereas
Yeah.
I'm looking right at you. It's fine. You know, you can see I'm not, you know, taking offense at that little racist barb you just said earlier, Tom. That sort of stuff, you know.
You know, I gotta
So is
say, I was just using text to speech, dude.
I know, and I'm sure you meant to say grazie.
Now you're looking at my text messages to Doug.
It's funny too, because you could always tell when Doug is truly writing a text message opposed to using speech to text or somebody else that might be helping him, you know, feeding information in his ear, because you could see that's Doug. I know that's Doug just by the way it's written, you know. So there is ways to do that, like the use of the emojis and different things. But
If there's not 4 emojis, Doug's not interested.
right,
I like it.
No, I'm serious. Like when something's funny, there's always like at least 4 like
That's awesome.
left crying faces. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
are there emojis? You got me. I'm going right.
Yeah,
So,
but that's cool because at least he's got an accent, you know.
It's true.
Oh, I love it.
thing.
Yeah.
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
The cool thing about being in a band now is like there's no question about how anybody feels. Like if somebody comes in and they're having a bad day, it's like, let's just go get a burrito and talk about it. You know, it's not like
That's nice.
somebody comes, it's not like we're like, I don't know, burrito's stupid.
no, but what do we do every week, Tom?
Exactly. Yeah.
You go get
Let's leave it at
get a
that.
burrito. So
And I know that little marker is going to come up, but I wanted to bring up something that we have not talked about. As the guy who's edited the first 8 of these, we have not talked about the 11 songs that we've birthed in less than 2 months.
yeah,
We probably should mention that we're writing music together now too, in addition to doing whatever this is.
Yeah.
You know,
No, it's
you know,
true.
getting-
I mean, we're shitting them out of good and son. That's what we're doing. Yeah, they're rolling out. And that's to your point of communication. You know, we're writing as quickly as writing the song. I mean, rather than writing songs, but in one sitting, we can do it in about 48 hours. What it would take us about an hour in person.
Oh, sure,
Right.
sure, yeah.
And that's only logistics because, you know, you're on a weird
Customs.
side of the planet, you know, that's all it is. But if we were in the same room, yeah, it would take about an hour. It shouldn't take longer than that. Otherwise I'll just get bored, you know. You got to have a break. It's like, come on now, you know how quick it was. Back then.
We'll bring a PlayStation for you.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I've always worked fast. It's not, I have labored over stuff and tweaked, but that initial spark, if you can follow that down the rabbit hole and not stop, don't stop, just come on and keep up. And it's very rare that you find people that can keep up.
yeah,
And
Right.
you know, you guys, Adrian, and my guys now, especially, you know, it's keeping up. It's where can we go with this? How can we explore this? And yeah, so we're 11 songs in. I would say we're 9 songs in with some needing finishing.
yeah.
But yes,
Yeah.
the genus of all ideas is there. The hooks are there. The legs for them are there. Absolutely. And may that continue. You know.
Yeah. I think the big difference, you know, with being and how much we get done in person opposed to the way we're doing it is that it feeds itself, right? And it's like spark happens and everybody else, it starts sparking, you know, and then there you go. It's just like everything just starts going and you lose time, you know. Well, you don't have to worry. You're not beholden to time. You don't even think about it. So like the little thing up in the corner that's ticking down right now.
Well, that's the thing as well. It's the Ouroboros thing again, where that communication you have with a crowd and that feedback that you have, the only other time you get it, and it's a different thing, but it's as immediate and as gratifying, is when you're creating with other people. And that spark goes out to them, and then they twist it in their own noggin, and that comes back at you. It's that feedback loop, and suddenly everyone's fired up, and off we go, and let's chase it. Where are we going with this? You know?
Yeah.
And it's learned behavior and it's shared behavior, because 26 years ago, around this time, we were probably more efficient than we were now, with all the doodads and all the shit we talked about before, and all this communication, sending it back and forth. I mean, I remember getting that CD and having to sign for it. Right. And I was actually at work, Andy, and was just like, oh, I mean, obviously the story's up on the website or whatever, but we did those with DA-38s in Cresswell, Oregon. I mean, Jarrett sitting there, I'll do it again. Horace,
everything mic'd, all instruments just being mic'd in the same room together. That's how we wrote everything.
Well, that CD, I did the vocals for, was it 3 tracks? Hollow.
Yeah, 2 or 3 of them. There was like some trains of coming harmonies.
Yeah,
Thought Crime
I did those in a half-hour lunch break that Simon Hanhart had. I called him and said, I need to record a thing. He said, I'm doing a Eurovision Song Contest nonsense thing. Come down at lunchtime at this studio, blah, 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 Stanley House Studios, I think it was. And I'll do your vocals for you. Oh, brilliant. Okay. And it was literally like, right, come on, hurry up, because they buggered off for a cup of tea and stuff.
Yeah.
And I just did them. Might have doubled a bit, did a harmony here, there, and then that was it. He printed that CD, burnt that CD, and that was it. I was gone. Thanks very much. Bless him. He's been so helpful throughout my non-career career that without him, I wouldn't have had a lot of opportunities. But he was so helpful to do that. And that got sent to you. But working in the room with you guys, think about that. We come up with an idea, we explore it, then we think, what do we want with it rhythmically, and where does it go? And it's all happening actually in that moment. It's not like a list of things we have to check off. It's evolving in one moment.
Right.
And then Doug's got to remember that it goes into that odd time at this thing. And he's not remembering time, he's just remembering that feel part. That's how it feels, that part. Okay. And like we'll do it 2 or 3 or 4 times, and every time he hits that part that he's not feeling, he's like, fuck! Right?
Yeah.
And then eventually he feels it, and suddenly it's like it was never not there.
Right.
And then you've got a song. Because it's this, a song isn't, in my own personal opinion, I can only speak for myself, but a song isn't formed until when you listen to it, it's like it was never not there.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like, it has to have existed, because that fucking bridge is so beautiful.
It doesn't have this duct tape together kind of feel about it,
That's it. Yeah. It's its own animal. It's suddenly, when you get to, it's in that creative part, when suddenly it's like, oh shit, we're all trying to draw a camel, right? We don't see the other bits. It's like, you draw that bit, you'll draw that, and hopefully it comes across as some kind of weird zombified zebra thing with a hump. But we're kind of in the right ballpark, because everyone's viewpoint is different as well. So at some point, the drummer's going to draw wings. It's inevitable. But now we've got a zebra flying camel fucking death machine with guns. Why guns? I felt like it, right? But we've all drawn this thing. It's there. But now it's a weird fucking animal.
Yeah.
But it's ours. It's created, and then
we shall call it progressive.
Yeah. It's progressive. Progressive Kazebra.
There you go. Kazebra bang bang.
Yeah, but that's what it is, isn't it? When you're collaborating, if unless you're like, for My Last Fire, I write the music, and then I stay out the guys' lane, and then they do stuff to it that makes it brilliant.
Yeah.
But with us, we were all writing, we were all, coming up with things. And so what one idea doesn't dictate that that's going to stay that way. It's going through your prism next. And your prism is, well, it ain't that. It's suddenly going this way. Why? Because I like how that makes me feel, makes me want to play to this emotion. This thing is coming out now. I don't want it to go to, I don't know, a big fucking middle eight breakdown. I want to like chill part. And your prism dictates how you create that section. And that's the soup. That's the beautiful part. That's the soup. you know.
I agree. I mean, that's the joy of being, doing things as a collective, and collaborating is you just don't. It's that mystery of not knowing exactly what's going to come out the other side, and that's what draws me further into the cave. It's like, ooh, where's this go? It's always been that, and it's always will be that, and that's where I find my joy.
What I like with writing with you, for instance, is you'll give me something. Oh, Mike, then. You'll give me something, and I know sometimes I'll write something, I'll put it back to you, and I know you'll be like, yeah, cool. And that's kind of where I was. And then sometimes I know I'll put something and you'll go, oh, that's where he's counting the one. Or, oh, I wasn't expecting the vocal to come straight in there, And I know there's that sometimes when I do stuff like that, I know people are like sort of going, huh? Oh, okay. And I love those moments. I really love those moments,
Well, and me too, because I want it to be open for interpretation. I don't, it's the difference between being in a band and being a solo artist, right?
Yeah.
It's like if you just basically want people to play what you want, what you've written exactly how you've written it, well, then go hire people to do that. Don't call yourself a band, because you're not a band. That's the whole, fucking the beginning of our podcast theme. Our old song that's Doug and Tom. Yeah. That's Doug and Tom.
Oh yeah.
That has nothing to do with me whatsoever. Yes, the guitar comes in later on, but I remember them distinctively coming up with that together, just jamming. That's Doug and Tom, and that sparked that entire song. That's where that came from.
It sounds so tight as well. Still to this day, it sounds so fucking tight and rhythmic.
That end of the end of that song, that breakdown is so just so
over the top, isn't it? It's ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, and that was again writing like I've always done, where it's we'll do this, and then when we do the proper record, that's our bass line. Then we'll chuck in, the strings and all the rest of it. But that's where those big vocals, like, oh my god, and what are you thinking? It's great though, It's egotistically ambitious,
Sure.
Have it, But yeah. That's the thing as well. It's going back to that bittersweet moment in time where you can't go back, where you ultimately think, well, what would the next lot of songwriting been like?
Right.
Where would we have gone with that? How far out?
The thing is, in hindsight and in retrospect, it's like knowing us, we would have done more.
No.
Because we wouldn't have been satisfied just to regurgitate the same shit over and over again. I mean, you listen to what we're doing now compared to there. Does it sound like us? Yes. But does it sound like what we did back then? No. And in effect, it is like the time and distance and learning and everything else over the time. It's like we've never quit being ambitious musically. We've never quit, having an open mind when it comes to where things are going to go. Yeah. We've talked about it. It's like, fuck, if we want to put a bassoon in something, we'll put a bassoon in something. Why the fuck not?
It's the joyful glee of it. It's the fact that once you realize that you can put anything into it, then you don't need to put everything into it. I know it's to have everything is letting it go, right?
Right.
And knowing that you can go in any genre path you like, and whoever's with you, like with you guys, you're just going to go. Let's go. Where we're going? Oh, we're in samba country. Fine, whatever.
Right.
Where we're going? I don't know. Let's find out. It's the beauty of the discovery of it.
You have been watching and listening to the Satellite Trampoline 3 podcast. Thank you for your company. Catch us next time.